hey guys, oops, that's already up.
There's the first game we played.
Spoiler. There we go. Here's the game we're playing right now. Spoiler.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see all of our...
You can see everything about it.
All of our crap laid out. We are in the midst of playing Voidfall. You should check out the video. It'll probably come out sometime this month. It's going to be super long because it's our very first play, so we are learning it.
Hey, George.
What are you thinking so far? We're one cycle in. We've literally only one of 3 cycles.
Yes. So I am... It's very symbol heavy. It went into knowing that. But I'm honestly surprised at how streamlined it is. The decision space is what's hard. The actions that you're choosing to do, but the actual actions are not hard. It's what everybody complains about: symbology, tons of symbols. But I can definitely see through more playthroughs that you will start understanding what these symbols are. So
yeah, I don't know. I think it is. It's not hard actions. Mm-hmm. Actions of it are super simple, really, right?
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
Bump a track. It's put out these, your whatever, fleet cubes.
Remove corruptions.
Yeah, that part is simple. The hard part is you got 9 cards,
27
3 actions, 27. You're doing 2 of them. So deciding, and so it's a whole lot from that aspect. Choice and to think like, oh, what am I gonna do?
I've said it many times. I think like weight in games is very subjective. First of all, for everybody, because it can be hard mechanically or it can be hard strategically, and this definitely falls in the strategic aspect of weight. Yeah. And then just on top of that, just the barrier to entry into the game is pretty high. We've been playing for quite some time now. Because there is a lot to learn while we're playing. So, that's a little sneak peek into next month when we talk about it. But, yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Okay, let's get over to it. So,
right there.
Boom. First game we played last month.
You played.
I say we. I played some Seventh Continent. I played this... I wish they included more solo campaign. Isn't there there's like a billion in there? There's 15, I think, or 13.
So much reading.
I think there's 13 of everything, right? 13 2-player co-op, 13 or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 9, but I don't know. Anyway, Seventh Continent. So I played this mostly, one, it was a refresher. I hadn't played this in many years, since it came out, roughly 2017 timeframe. But I played it because I recently got Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era, and I just watching stuff on that, I had this big
exploration itch.
Do some exploring and whatnot. And so I busted this out, and I did the first basic curse, which I had done prior, thinking, oh, it's been forever. But I would be surprised. I remembered a decent amount. Still had a blast. There was stuff I did not remember, right? Like I made it all the way to the final ending spot, and it's like, oh, do you have these 2 items? And I'm like, I sure don't have those 2 items. I remember I had to have those 2 items now. So I had to go out and get them. I just really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed every card you're flipping over is like... what's this going to be? Is it going to be something good? Oh, no. How am I going to deal with this, Or I flip it over and it's like, oh, this is a sweet companion, or just all kinds of stuff. And it's one of those, it's, what do they call it? Emergent narratives, right? So, I could tell you, my guy was, I made it from your little starter island, and I went over to the main island, and I faced a bear dang near immediately and spent all of my resources, all of my tools, and all of my equipment to fight this bear, exhausting everything. But then it was worth it because I collected so much food from the bear, and I got all the stuff back. And then I just hiked through, finding, various different stuff. I was bloody from the very beginning, which is not a good thing to have. It makes it where you have to take bad things. I don't know. I had a blast. Getting through it. So
that's fun. That's not generally your type of game, but I feel like you've been playing them a lot more lately.
In what way?
Just the narrative. Right. And I guess the exploration is what you like. I don't know what the actual narrative is of the game, if there is any reading or anything like that.
There's virtually none
Okay.
in that, right?
But I do feel like you've been playing more exploration stuff lately.
Yeah, I mean, I like leveling up characters. It's funny, I got Elder Scrolls. I started Skyrim again because it's so good. And yeah, I don't know. I've wanted to. I've wanted to. It's scratched that itch. Really, I started with playing Mage Knight, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, just fun.
George, I'm excited to hear about Terminus and Evenfall. I've heard both of those are really good. Barcelona, awesome game. We need to play that again. Definitely want to play that one again. Nova Roma, another one that's interesting to me. Okay. Hoplomachus Victorum, 20 strong.
Yeah,
Is Pat
so,
here?
Yeah, I hope Pat's here, but I actually already talked to him about this. So I've now played, I went through these 3 months playing first 20 strong Solar Sentinels, then played 20 strong Too Many Bones. Then last month I did Hoplomachus Victorum. This was the best one by miles and miles and miles. Such cool decision space. So in Solar Sentinels, you had 3 cards in a row, and you got to choose who you're fighting of the top of each of those decks, and they had different abilities and that kind of stuff. And then Too Many Bones, I thought was more on the rails, less getting choice. You just kind of dealt with what you got. This one took Solar Sentinels to the next level in that the cards are in a pyramid, 9-card pyramid. And so you move from spot to spot that way. So you had all of this decision of Solar Sentinels of who do I want to fight, what's on top, and that kind of stuff. I thought it was so good. The way you handled your dice pool in this one was a lot better. So in the other two, you just get all your dice. Right? You get them all, you use them, and or you manage them that way. This one, right? So Hoplomachus' theme is like whatever. Gladiator battles is what it is, I think. You had to like recruit dice. So you actually only started with half of your dice pool, and some of the cards had you actually like recruit dice, or you could upgrade. So when you recruited the weakest dice, and so then you'd have to, which is the yellow, you could recruit it. And so I could put a yellow back, get a green, or I could put a green back, get a blue, blue back, get a purple, so on. Thought it was just this one, so much more choice and decision, and everything about it was cool. Plus, it had to be, I'm going to say 12 characters to play.
Wow.
Probably 10 different ultimate bosses to fight, and you choose all those at the beginning. So this was by far the best one. And honestly, I told Pat, playing all 3 of these, I'm probably gonna just go ahead and buy and back the new 3 fairy tale ones,
or something like that. Yeah,
because I'm excited to see the different things they do. So Joel, Chip Theory is awesome. I got a funny story. Not a funny story. This is actually super heartbreaking. I told Lacey I had an entirely depressed day. So I don't know if you're aware, but Chip Theory, anytime they do their Kickstarters or game founds for them, they have a strategist pledge, which is $800. You get all the Chip Theory games for life.
Right? Oh, wow.
That's how it works.
For life?
For life.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So they launched their newest game on Tuesday, 10 a.m. I'm ready for it.
What is it?
I'm going to get on it. I'll get into what their newest game is, because it's actually one I've been interested in, but separate from Chip Theory doing it. But anyway, I log in at 10 o'clock. I go through, click, 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 get it. I screwed up when putting in my country of origin, and so it caused the page to refresh, and by the time I fixed it and clicked it again, sold out.
Oh no.
They only offer 10. So they offer 10 strategist pledges every single time. The clock had not hit 10:01 by the time but I was on it, and I went slightly too fast, and so I missed the strategist. So have to do it on the next one. But anyway, I was really had quite the depressing day. I was so mad. I was mad at myself.
That's terrible.
Nobody's fault but my own. But I was in and ready. Yeah, It was terrible.
Do you get all the previous games also, or
No,
just
it's
from that
forward.
point forward?
So you can look it up. They tell their story. Basically, they did it when they were a starting company. I think it was like $750 at that time. Now it's $800. I mean, they did it when it was a starting company of like, let's get us off the ground, you know. And now it's just, they say it's a tradition. We do 10 every single time. They, I think, have said before they lose money.
I was gonna say, wasn't Elder Scrolls like $400 on its own?
So you don't get the all-in. What you would get for that is the $220 version,
which is still
which
chip
is
theory
just the game space stuff, right? And you can add the add-ons. And I have seen where a lot of times that's what strategists do, right? So like, I would have just, I could have spent $200 more and gotten the full all-in type of thing or whatnot. But anyway, I'll try it on the next one. But I was so sad. Anyway, the new game is called Dragons of Etchinstone. Do you know? It's gotten really popular now. Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a fun story. Nobody knows this. Before there was Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs, it was a game called Gloomholden. Okay?
Was this on BGG? Somebody had made it?
Yeah, it was print and play or print on demand type of thing, right? That guy who makes those makes one-handed games or whatnot. He made this Dragons of Etchinstone 10 years ago. Chip Theory has picked it up, done what Chip Theory does, deluxe-fied it. It's like $30. Right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, they're trying to make something more reasonable, like a different price market type of thing. But yeah, so that's what it is. But I've known about that game as well as Gloomholden, right, for years. And I've thought, I need to get those. But like, you have to get them off Game Crafter. And I've just never really wanted to hassle with that. Like, it's not it's not quality games by any means. But so that's what they did is they worked with him and
Interesting.
Updated it to their PVC cards and whatnot. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully better luck next time. Know what country you live in. Yeah. Arc Nova.
Arc Nova. So, John, hopefully you're still here. So last month, John jumped in, said he was from St. Louis. I traveled to St. Louis about once a month for work. John and I met up and played Arc Nova. He brought his play group, which was awesome. So we got to, I say we, he always gets to play with them, but I got to play. It was with 3 of us. It was John, Lance, and Paul. Really, really cool guys, down to earth, easy, and I taught all 3 of them Arc Nova, and we just had a really good time.
Wiped the floor with them.
Playing it. I won't say that. Poor John, he lost pretty badly. He was very negative. Lance was very close to me, and then Paul somewhere in between those 2. But it was down to the race that Arc Nova is. I mean, it was like, can I cross here? No, I can't. I actually had a really funny move at the end where I thought I was crossing. Like, I'm like, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to play this conservation, bump these 2, right? Well, doing the conservation, I have to release an animal, losing the appeal, And I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. I was trying to trigger it here. But it was a lot of fun. I'm trying to think what all... It took me a little bit to get things going on it, but I had a lot of things that released some animals, and I ended up doing a lot of conservation projects with this playthrough, which was pretty cool because it's not a way I had played previously. But yeah, I just super enjoy Arc Nova, understand why it is 3. And yeah, John, I'm glad you had a good time. And yes, Monday, meeting with him to play Great Western, I get to play with all 3 of them again to play some Great Western Trail New Zealand. So super excited. I have been brushing up on the rules, plus I have the whole thing downloaded for my flight. So I will learn it for sure all by the flight.
Nice. Up next, Chronicles Crime 1400.
Yeah, so I talked about this, I think, last month or the month before. I got several of these in their, what they call it, their Millennium series, I think is what it is. And it's a really cool little investigation game. Cooperative, it's kind of one I think you would really like. You take your time trying to find the investigation, finding clues, and they have item cards, and they have people, and locations, and so you can ask, like, you can go to a location, you figure out who's there, and you talk to a person, and then you maybe ask them about other people, or ask them about items, or you just find stuff. With all that said, we did not do well on this one. I don't know what we missed, but we missed something.
You missed something big.
We did not do well. I mean, it kind of like flows, walks you through it. There's some like diverting you can do, but for the most part, like it's going to take you step by step through learning this thing. And we missed a step in there or something. I don't know what we did, but we were like, we had no idea, and we went to guess, and we were just completely off. And we actually tried guessing like.
Is like our playthrough of Lost Species.
We're like, we got to go figure something else out. And so we kind of did, and yeah, it was an embarrassment. So that was Chronicles of Crime.
Up next, Civolution.
Civolution.
Hey, Pat.
What's going on, Pat? Hopefully you...
go back in time, listen to Hoplomachus, 2x your way back.
Yeah, and then join us again for the fun. Civolution, I did a talking solo on this.
That was last month.
Yeah, and... I've had a good time playing this solo. I think the player... this is one I really do want to play with more people, so more things are discovered.
Yeah.
Right? The one thing about this is like the buy-sell action is like so terrible because you have to pay so much money for the undiscovered stuff, and I think it would be better if more stuff was discovered. But yeah.
I think we need to try to talk Joe into this one. I feel like it's a game that, I don't know, I can see him liking it. I could also see him hating it. One or the two. But I agree with you. This game, it's like the exploration. That's really what you need. And when there's two people, it's just not enough to
you only
to go through the map because they
they
don't reduce the map size, or at least not enough. But it is definitely one that I want to play again.
I think Joe will most likely end up hating this.
Yeah.
I think he'll like the mechanics and like the idea of the whole game. He does not typically ever like a game that can get async, right? Yeah. So
when you're refreshing and that's your move.
Or on this one, more specifically, like you could do the action, which you're going to do once or twice where not a break, I'm thinking of Arc Nova, but you take the
reset or whatever it is.
No, like you literally just take two pegs and put them in
your
whatever. Rest or whatnot, and it's like, that's your turn I got two.
And then your turn
got two more ideas, you know, and that could have been, the turn before I was moving all across the map, and then this next turn I'm, using all those resources I got or whatnot, in between there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I don't know. We gotta find somebody to play that one with because I do want to play that one again at a higher player count. This was me, Clank. You just played Clank 2 days ago.
I did.
And I got to play Clank at the beginning of the month with Kirsten. Again, we went to our local board game bar there, D20, and this is just kind of a game that I don't think, last time she played it was on Halloween back in October, so she wanted to play it out again, and it's one that I learned very quickly, and just very quickly glance at the rules, and you remember how to play it. It was a good playthrough. I ended up we played on the reverse side of the normal map, of the base map, so it's a little bit more. And I ended up getting a backpack so that I could get more of the artifacts. And she ended up getting a lot of them. It was the monkey, that's what it was, I think, the monkey temple, something like that. And she ended up getting like a bunch of those and some cards that like helped with that. So it really was like super close at the end, who's going to win. And then she ended up getting a card that was like double the points for your money, or something like that. It was something along those lines. Or for every 5 coins you have, you get this many victory points. It was something like that. And then at that point, that's when I ended up realizing that money is worth victory points at the end. I'd completely forgotten that, so I had to check the rule book. And she had so much money.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to get out of this play. Like, I need those 20 points to get out. So I ended up getting out before her. And she was like 1 turn away from getting out. So she didn't get the 20 victory points. I beat her by that margin. Like, if she would have got it, she would have just completely wiped me. But I ended up winning with getting out. And it was fun. That's just what I like about Clank, is just that little race at the end. It's a good deck builder. It really is.
Yeah,
A ton of fun.
absolutely
Really
is.
like Clank. So up next, here you go, Ken Pat. We finally got in some dice thrown,
just
and look at that.
arrived. Look at
And yours
that.
just arrived. VFI. So that's who's delivering it out there. Yeah. So we got to play this one. We played all the characters.
Except for
Cyclops. Because we did add Deadpool in there. It was good. We got to play all of them back to back to back. Unfortunately, we played one whole round of Wolverine and Deadpool. Realized right at the end that we did not have our microphones on, or that we didn't press. There was no audio, so that was a solid 30 minutes wasted. Played a game, but wasted for content wise.
Yeah. Wasted in the sense that we're like, okay, we like literally.
We had to do them back to back to get them all out.
We need to try and crank all these out so
Yeah.
we can start getting them out. And yeah, it was. So we were like on a tight schedule. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
And yeah. So anyway, don't be too disappointed because we ended up just playing again.
Yes, we did play it again.
So we played Wolverine and Deadpool against each other again.
Yeah. Deadpool was interesting. Deadpool was fun. He's not the kind of character that either of us generally go for, but I definitely see like how people would like him.
I was saying what I did not like about Deadpool was he has so much stuff that is just out of nowhere damage, right? Like, oh, and I have this card that does this, or I have this. And
Yeah, I played the card on you that was like, pick a number. If you roll it, you get something. If you don't roll it, you lose two health or
whatever.
something like that.
There was just a lot of little things like that like I wanted to be more straightforward, right? Like,
And like in all honesty, it's thematic. It fits him because he is that kind of character, but it's just not the kind of character that we would play. Wolverine, very straightforward. Rage, discard cards, do more damage. That was cool. Dark Phoenix and Rogue both kind of surprised me a little bit. Rogue actually surprised me the most. I thought she was a lot better than I had expected her to be. And then I think Iceman and Psylocke kind of both let us down a little bit. It wasn't as cool as we had hoped, or it was just more work than kind of we had hoped.
yeah, Iceman.
You have to put stuff in this freezer and all that
and
kind
then
of
pull
stuff.
it out of the freezer.
I don't think we got 35 damage
Yeah, I
from
don't know
him.
about that. So what was your favorite of the box?
Of the box, I'm gonna go ahead and say Dark Phoenix. Jean Grey. I think that was it. Jean Grey was definitely my favorite.
She was the one where you got like
You got to flip.
double income.
You
and
got
then
double
no
income and then no income,
or
and double
whatnot.
income and then
Yeah.
no income. Yeah. What about you?
The one I probably had the most fun was Gambit. The way
Yeah.
I thought at first it was going to be a bit of a letdown with
Mm-hmm.
the way the charge cards worked, but I thought they worked well.
Yeah.
Like almost every turn I got to use a card.
Mm-hmm.
There was enough ways to whatever they called them, retain or flip them back over. So I guess that one was probably the best.
Yeah.
I did like how simple Wolverine was. But Wolverine was like, it was
And it's thematic too, right? Like that is him. He's just gonna get upset. So yeah, we have all of those recorded. We'll get them out as soon as we can. But yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
All right. Here you go. How many plays?
what's it?
I guess not this last month.
70.
Did you play them all in March?
Yeah, I did the entire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so played a lot of Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, trick-taking game.
You forgot the trick taking? No, it is just trick taking.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
never mind. You're right.
The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, trick-taking game. Yeah, so I did 2 full campaigns of this last month. I did 1 solo campaign and 1 4-player campaign. The solo campaign, I'm honestly not going to talk too much about it because I did just do a talking solo that's about to come out.
Sometime.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of backup videos
Anyway,
right now.
that will come out. It was fine. It was better than 4 Northwood for solo, but it was just kind of
It's a solo trick-taking game.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It was not bad. I had a lot of fun doing it. It's a puzzle. I honestly would have said it was a complete blast and go get it had I not played it at 4-player, which I thought was phenomenal. To me, this game was made... Pat, I'll get to that. For this game was made for 4 players. It was challenging, and you got to really have to work on some of the levels for the characters. But really, I just love the way they did this. Like, so I played with Lacey, her sister, and her mom. All 3 of those know nothing about Lord of the Rings, don't care anything about Lord of the Rings, right? They all had a complete blast playing this. Right, we're all high-fiving each other, whenever we get through like a really hard one, or even at the end, like we were all talking about it for a while. They really enjoyed it. When I told them that they're making more, they're like, yeah, we'll do this again for sure,
They're making the other 2
Yeah,
books.
so this did so good.
Right, they have to make
they're
them.
doing. They greenlit both of them, right? Like they're doing both of them for sure. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's funny because like the thematicness of it is there if you know Lord of the Rings, but it is not at all
Pertinent.
needed or like I don't know how to explain it. So like everybody had a different ability, right? Maybe I'm trying to get a certain amount of a specific suit, or I need to win the most tricks or the least tricks, or whatever the case was. And it just made sense is the best way to put it, right? So like, I can think Boromir is a great example because he was the bane of our campaign's existence. Boromir, his ability was fine. Had to win the last trick. That's whatever. But really, it was that he could not win the One Ring, because if you've ever seen the movies or know anything about it, he's like corrupted by it, and so, or the temptation of it. So like if he got it, you instantly lose. It was just things like that like to me was like, oh, that's really cool. To them, like
whatever.
It was whatever, but like they could still enjoy playing Boromir and his ability, like, and so that was just really cool. Yes, Pat, I missed the strategist. I am so sad of it. Was the game I played? Oh, you play tested it. So did you play test? I assume the new, because I thought they didn't change too much, but they added in a couple of expansions. So yeah. Okay, so you got to play test the expansion part of it. Very cool.
For Northwood.
Look at that. For Northwood. Also, fine trick-taking game, I guess. I say I guess. It got trumped by Lord of the Rings.
I was going to say, last month you said this is a terrific game.
It's so good. It actually is very good. It got trumped by
another trick-taking game.
Yeah, another one. Literally a month later, I'm like, oh, I can shelve For Northwood for a while. The difference is, I would probably never play Lord of the Rings without doing the campaign, whereas I can just pick up For Northwood.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And For Northwood has so much replayability. It has thousands of these like little one-off ability things that you can use. So there is that. I'll end up playing more of it.
Hey, I got to play Forges of Ravenshire. So on that same day that Kirsten and I went out, I want to play something that I hadn't played in a while. So I got this one out, and she hates learning new games. You've taught games to her. She can't hold attention for worse than I am at learning games. But this one is very straightforward. There's 2 phases, the production phase and then the other phase, whatever there are 2 phases. One, you're gathering resources. The other one, you're spending your resources. And it was fun. I kind of introed it to her as this is Raiders of Scythia, which is a game that she actually does not enjoy. But she knows the mechanic of placing a worker, picking up a worker, getting the resources. And I was appalled, but she said that she liked it better here on Forges of Ravenshire. That's okay. the mechanic works the same. Um, this game is really good. I think the only thing that it suffers from is there can be some AP during the producing phase or whatever it's called, because you really have to maximize exactly how much you're making, because you can do so many different trades. You can trade, the wood for cinder, and then the cinder can turn into steel, and you want specific amounts. So it can take a while for you to actually figure out what you're calculating, what math you're doing. But if you're just kind of playing just to play, it's fun. It's a good game. Really have been enjoying it, and yeah, it's really Forge of the Ravenshire. It's a game that I'll play at any time. I don't think it does anything like super special or anything like that, but it's a solid middleweight game. So, and Kirsten actually really enjoyed it, so probably get to play it a little bit more.
Okay. Pat, I also see you asked if I backed it. Yeah, I went ahead and backed it. It's $30. Why wouldn't I back it? Anyway.
Galileo Galilei.
Yeah.
I'll let you start off on this one.
So I've been thinking about this game a lot. We played it a week ago. I think it's at the moment one of the top 5 new games for me. But I think there is zero chance that it lasts another 8 months.
So it's at number 5?
Yeah, I'd have to think. I haven't played enough newer games to... Maybe I have.
This actually, I think, came out newer to you. Yeah. It came out last year. I don't know how we're doing
regardless,
that, but
okay. Will not make any list of mine for sure. I don't think it's bad. I think it for me suffers 2 things. One, there's not enough. There's not enough for me. And 2, I just don't typically like, this is not new news to anybody, but I don't typically like a game where you just gather resources and claim them for victory points. And that is what I'd probably say over half your points come from is that, and then probably slightly under half is your end game, whatever you call them, temples or books or whatever they were. So I don't know. It was just not quite enough to be oomph for me. It was fine. I'd play it again, but it's one I almost certainly will never play again because
I think whenever we got off camera or whatever, you had mentioned this is a game that you would play 3 times and then you'd probably seen it all, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's anything phenomenal, but I think it's a good game. It's one that I don't know if I mentioned it during the live stream or whatever, but I've come to realize I do like action selection in games, and I think the action selection in this is done pretty well, right? You've got your little telescope, and you're going up 1 to 3 actions. So that's really cool. It reminded me of a Vladimir Suchy game. Generally, I'm more theme than you are, for sure. The theme, actually, I really do enjoy this one.
I couldn't even tell you what the theme is.
Yeah, looking at planets. That's really what it is.
I was going to say, I don't think this. I don't think this is a heavy theme game by any means.
Well, I mean, so saying that, right? Like, I kind of talked to Jeff a little bit after the fact. He let us borrow this. When I was growing up, my dad, he's always been in astronomy, like his whole life. We have multiple telescopes at home, or he has multiple telescopes at home. And when we lived in Ecuador, he would actually always drive out to like the middle of nowhere, legitimately nowhere. And he would get a tent and he would just look at the stars for 3 nights in a row. And so when my brother and I got older, we would go out there with him. So like the whole telescope thing, looking at the night sky, looking at the comets and all that kind of stuff, it's pretty cool to me.
Well, the thing is, I get that the theme is there. I don't think, when I think of a thematic game, right, this was collecting colored dice to then go get a constellation, right? Like,
yes.
The actions were not at all thematic to what it is doing.
The theme, it's thematic, but it is not mechanically thematic, right? Like, so that's Joe and I have had a couple conversations about that. Like, I think Distilled, for me, that is a very thematic, mechanical game, right? Because you are getting the ingredients that then go into this. Yeah, you're right. It's not in here, but the theme is one that I appreciate in this game. either way, I think it's fun. It was good solo. It's not one that I would probably solo again. I would like to try it at more players. Saying that though, I don't think it will change much with more players because you're just adding more cards. And I said it at the beginning of the live stream. I wasn't sure how fast those cards would refresh, but they actually did end up refreshing pretty quickly. So yeah, this is definitely, it's not a fine game. I'm going to put it above fine, right? But it's not one that...
It's Puerto.
It's Puerto, exactly. It's Puerto. So yeah, that's Galileo Galilei.
Marvel Champs. That's awesome. Did you just get the core box? I did see you put something on Discord, but I'm bad at responding there. So anyway, very cool. And then Ashes Reborn is sitting like right here somewhere there. And I just need to play it.
It's still on shrink, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Argentina, Great Western Trail.
Argentina. So this is why John and I are playing. Dude, you are so lucky to have found Rise of the Red Skull. That is out of print, and they said they're not making it anymore. So good snag for you. Anyway, this is why John and I are playing New Zealand next month.
Yeah.
So we streamed this.
We talked about it a little bit afterwards. I don't remember if that was on camera or after. We both agreed that this one was better than base Great Western Trail. It added just a little bit. It added enough to not change up the core mechanics. So we both, I'm going to say, skimmed over the rules, just looked at the new kind of things, and we were able to play it pretty much no issues. I think it's fun. I think it's cool what they're doing with, you know, the trilogy or whatever. But I think if you're going to get one, this is the one you get.
Yeah.
It's just Great Western Trail Plus.
Yeah, I think so. I remember having a blast, and honestly, what I like the most is, you know, Great Western Trail, you know, this game.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I think the rule book could probably be like, here's the one-pager differences, and
they definitely should have had that.
Yeah, and you'll be fine. But yeah,
it was good. It was fun.
Cannot wait to play this more.
Gugong. I got to solo Gugong a couple times last month. It's been sitting on my shelf. I bought it at some local convention and I haven't played it. But I finally got to play it again. And it really reminded me, I like this game a ton. Just the mechanic of the gifts, you know, trading the cards for a higher value and going from there. Being able to combo some actions. It's not super similar to the White Castle, but I always compare those two just because the night that we played them back to back.
And they're both Asian themed?
They're both Asian themed, and you are comboing, not as much as the White Castle, but you are doing some combos. This one is just a really streamlined game. Like, it plays quickly. We'll talk about the solo a little bit. The solo is literally just flipping a card. It tells you to put one of its workers somewhere. There's another phase that it adds, the Twilight phase. And what the Twilight phase does is it just does a couple of like the more powerful actions, right? So like, you know, there's the two actions, there's the base one, and then there's a more powerful one. So of course, you know, we always say it, the AI is always cheaters. They don't pay for those things. So during that Twilight one, it picks like 2 or 3 and it does the bonus action on top of it. It was great. I definitely want to play it again, multiplayer. Fun game. Really liked it. Want to play it some more.
Yeah, I would like to play it again too.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember it enough to...
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So it was funny because right around this time was when I live streamed with Ian and we did Rolling Realms and we did the Gugong realm.
Have to do trading numbers down.
And yeah, and so whatever. You have the numbers, and it's just if you put a 2, then the next one you have to put a higher number. Yeah. And then when you get to 6, you have to put a 1 kind of thing. And so that's what I like about Rolling Realms. They really do a good job at making the games feel like a little game. So, Isle of Cats. After this playthrough, it made me realize I don't really like the game that much.
Yeah, it's Garbo.
I'm not going to say it's Garbo. There's better drafting games out there. There's better polyomino games out there. There's better contract fulfillment games out there.
Did you know this game has like 3,000 expansions?
Yes, it does. And so there's the Little Cats. is this that stupid cats on a boat drafting game? Yes. It is. Now, this was the same night again that Kirsten and I were out. She, like I said, she doesn't like learning new games as much as you and I do. So this is one that we both know and we got to play it. It's fun. I like playing games with her. I like card drafting in general. I had a terrible game here. She absolutely destroyed me. I couldn't get my cats on the boat in order. Couldn't herd the cats properly. The thing that I didn't like about it was every single cards that I was getting, there was no contracts, or there's no like end game scoring things that I could draft. Or the ones that I was getting was like, well, can't do that. So there was no source of mitigating what I was going to be scoring at the end of the game. And then, of course, every hand that she drew, one of the first cards that she had was something that lined up with what she was doing, so she was able to score all those. I mean, it's a fine game. This is one that I will play with Lola whenever she gets older, because there is a family mode to it. And it's just placing pieces on the boat. And so it'll stay in the collection, not for me, but for Lola when she gets older. I hate it. I heard of the cats at work all day. I don't want to. So we know that Pat hates Isle of Cats and Catan.
Speaking of for Lola, there is like a
yeah, it's a family variant.
Easy way to play,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. That's what I was saying. So this is there's a family variant of it where you take out all those public. I just had it where you take out all the contracts and like you just score based on matching numbers and stuff like that. I used to play it with my board game club at school all the time, and the kids really liked it. And then you can introduce more difficult things from there. So
it happens.
It happens. Another Steffenfeld game as Civolution.
Yeah. So I had a night where Bible study was canceled, and I'm used to not being here, and they do a board game meetup right here at Big Shots. And so I went and we played It Happens. This is the last game we played, so it's weird that I'm talking about this first, because I have a little bit to say about the whole thing. But the guy that I met up at this board game thing, I played with two guys all night long. Cool, down-to-earth guys. And we played all games that were like quick turns. I'm talking 5-10 second turns. Just, you do this, I do this. And it worked. It worked for... it just worked for this little meetup. Honestly, I thought both the other two games are games that you and Joe would absolutely love, because they're just quick and fast, right? Mid-weight games. But the end of the night, we played It Happens. This is been on my shelf of shame, and for sure one that I was like, this is gonna be a one play and gone. So I was wrong. For the three of us, it played in 16 minutes, and there was actually like decision. That's the best way to put it. So you have these little like ant hills.
Yep, ant hills. And
they're different heights, and you roll your dice, and then you're placing them on. There's 3 cards, and there's just a whole plethora of ways that like you could attempt to score. You could attempt to score by putting the most dice value on one of the cards, right? You could put it on trying to go up ant hills, so it doesn't matter really if you get high value. You can just go up and you get like symbols, and then there's a match collecting set there.
I think it's an anteater.
Is I don't know what the difference between those animals are, but
I guess I don't really either.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, huh. The more you know.
Yeah. Anyway, it was fun. That's what I'm getting at. It was fun. This is something I will keep in the collection solely because, like when we do a Halloween, I would bring this because it would be the perfect 20 minutes in between games type of thing.
Nice.
And it was quick, right? You don't really, nobody is sitting there staring at wit. You just place it out there. So anyway,
very cool. Little Alchemist. So this is. I was a Zuner. Autism. So Little Alchemist. This is the kid version of Alchemist, and that's a deduction game. So how this works is I got to play it with Lola. The age for this one, I believe, is 8+. So she'll be 5 in July. So I wasn't expecting much. But what you do is you have this secret little player board, right? And you start with different ingredients. And so it's actually app based. So with these ingredients, you put them in the app and then it creates one of 3 different potions. So there's, I don't know how many boxes, I want to say 8 boxes. And the rule book is literally 2 pages, but then as you unlock the next box, it gets harder. It starts introducing more mechanics. So the game grows with you as you grow older or as you learn the game. So the first one is you have 2 ingredients, you put them together and you input them in the app and it tells you what it makes. It either makes, I don't know what it really is, but we've been calling it ice, fire, and plant. And so those 3 things. And you have this little board and you are putting, I mixed a frog and a claw and it made a fire, right? And so then I mixed 2 other things and it made an ice. So eventually as the rounds start going, you have to start selling potions to the market, to the clients that want this types of potions. So you have to remember what you made. Now at the very end, yeah, it's related to the other no, not Trismegistus, I don't think. I think that's the one you're talking about.
It is related to The Alchemist.
To The Alchemist, which
or
is
just
another
Alchemist,
game.
I can't remember.
Yeah. So you have this board, and then at the end, you're just trying to deduce stuff like this ingredient always makes fire or plants, because each one only ever makes 2 of the 3. I know I'm doing a terrible job explaining it, but once you figure that out, at the end, it asks you, like, what does this always make? What does this always make? What does this always make? You put it in. If you get it right, you can unlock the second box. And then on the second box, it adds more mechanics. And then once you do that, you unlock the third box, so on and so forth. So we got to the second box, but it was too much. It was a lot more deduction for a 4.5-year-old. But honestly, we played this, I want to say probably 6 or 7 times. And a lot of it was back to back. But for the days afterwards, it was just, Daddy, can we play witches? Daddy, can we make potions? Yeah. And I was just like, the fact that it was, here's my phone, type in the 2 ingredients, this is what it makes. That's what she liked doing. Like, she just liked making those ingredients. And it was a ton of fun just to watch her enjoy that and just having her say.
Was this cooperative?
No, it is competitive.
So did everybody have their own?
Yeah, so everybody has their own little board, yeah.
So, I mean, that is the Alchemist, or
yeah.
not the Alchemist, that is Alchemist, except for your board is like, I don't remember, it's like 6 ingredients,
yeah.
6 by 6 type of thing, or whatnot.
This one might be that
pretty
too.
Big. But yeah, it's basically that. The difference also is Alchemist is also a worker placement game as well. So like you're trying to fulfill contracts, and I don't know, you can test the potions on it's like yourself or a student, you know. I can't remember which one's better, you know, one way or the other type of thing. And then you're trying to publish thesis on what the
so that's the
do.
second one is publishing thesis. That's the second part of the game that they're introducing.
And so I mean, it's definitely they took all the inspirations of. So did you like it enough to play Alchemist? Because Alchemist is a great game, and that's one of Joe's favorite games.
So I will play Alchemist for sure. Again, we literally just did, here's 2 ingredients, this is what it makes, now I'm going to sell it.
Yeah.
I think the most victory points you could get for any game was 15. I got 15 every time. Like that was just 15, and Lolo was getting like 8 or 9. So, and you have to gather your ingredients. Alchemist is so good. We'll play it, Joe.
It is a really good game.
But yeah, it was fun. Like it was a great intro into what it is. And like I posted something, I was like, this is definitely a game that we will grow into because she's just super into that, potions and witches. I know it's not witches, but that's what she's into. And it was just really cool. And again, the biggest thing that was awesome was, Daddy, can we play this game? Literally for like a week straight was, can we play this game? And I was like, yes, of course. So
Joe, in Alchemist, I can't remember, but you also know what the other person is testing, or you know their outcome. I can't remember, one of the ways.
So in this one, you know the outcome.
Okay, maybe that's it. So they have to tell you they made
whatever it is. Yeah.
I think it's positive and negative potions is I think what you're making there. It's been years since I played that. Great game.
So like I mean, I'll just show you real quick here. You make a potion, right? So you've got the potions like that, and then you just type in, like I did this, and then I'm confirming it, and it makes a ice potion, right? And so then you put the 2 ingredients that you mixed, you put it on your board, and it made this kind of potion. And then, right, it's taking it off your boards, getting new ingredients, put it on there. So it walks you through everything. It's done really well. I think it's great for kids' games.
So yeah, there it's positive negatives. But anyway, it's it's fun game.
Cool. Mage Knight.
Mage Knight. So this is really what started me getting to exploring stuff and talk about emergent narrative. Mage Knight is just awesome. You are a mage that just ends up in a land and boom, go. And it is so crunchy and so much fun, and it's a puzzle, but also scratches that itch of like, oh, let me go visit this monastery and buy these spells, and then let me burn down the monastery and get this sweet artifact. Or I have a go-to strategy when I play Mage Knight where I typically go after they have forts, right? And so you're exploring. The idea is you're a mage who literally ends up a portal into the land, you know, and that's it, right? And so you can like start killing the creatures and you boost your reputation. People are like, oh yeah, he's slaying the creatures of the land. That's great. But then you can also start like raiding their towers and their stuff, right? And so I like to raid their keeps because the keeps have this like cumulative thing of for every keep you've conquered, your hand size is +1 for each keep, right?
And you want more.
You have to be close, but anyway, so you and my map layout was not that, so I actually didn't do like any keeps, so it was really cool. I did a lot of like dungeon delving where you fight these like really hard monsters but bigger rewards type of thing. It was a blast of a game. Both of my cities, what happened? I think both my cities came up early. Honestly, I cannot remember. But I just had a blast. This game is completely awesome. The only reason I don't play it more is because like it's one that you really take your time. It's one that you really take your time, so it probably takes me, I'm gonna say 30 to 45 minutes to set up, and then 2 to 3 hours to play, and then I pick it back up. So it's a 5-hour experience when it's all said and done. But yeah, Michael, you're absolutely right. It's so juicy, and they set it up right. They're like, ooh, there's a sweet ability to buy, right? So let me go buy that ability, and then with my next hand, let me burn your place down. But yeah, it's a great game, Pat. It's hard, but it is so much fun, and it's just. Right, this is to me a solo game. They do have cooperative play, they do have competitive play, but to me this is nothing more than a solo game where I can just take my time and crunch out, you know, figure out where I'm gonna go. I had some sweet spells. Normally I also get spells that like do siege damage, and I'm like just going in there, guns are blazing. This one instead, I had spells that like I was flying across the map, moving all over the map, and that was really cool. Yeah, so. Man, I just one day we will play it co-op just to try it, but I'll probably just do nothing more than complain about Joe bringing me down because he never wins this game.
I was gonna say there's no way I will ever play this game with you because
no.
Devin, what do I do? Yeah. Go attack this. Yeah.
And it's a deck building game. So
this is it.
There's a lot of boxes on this thing. That,
so is Mage Wars the same?
No, totally
just
different.
Okay.
Totally different.
I assume so.
Marvel Champs, I'm cranking through this and I'm almost done, but last month I played way too much Lord of the Rings, so this month, this last month I only played like one more game of this, and I'm one game away from finishing this box, but I'm still again playing with Spider-Ham and Cyclops. We played, who did we play? Mysterio. It was kind of, Mysterio did a lot of like threat stuff, and my guys were set up to take care of that. So it was like
Spider-Ham just.
This is no big deal whatsoever. Spider-Ham rocks. He rocks so much. I just did the Sinister Six actually last week, and that was fun. one day, Pat, I swear, I really do want to. This, I was thinking, would be a good talking solo.
What, Mage Knight?
No.
Oh, Marvel Champions.
Mage Knight probably would be too, but Marvel Champions. But this would also be a good stream. I just need to do it, and it takes up so much space. That's the one thing. Like when I play
with a void fallout here.
Yeah, I mean it's like I have all my. I mean it does. It takes up like this much for each guy once you start putting all the cards out.
Yeah.
It's hard to anticipate. You start out with just a deck sitting there and the villain there. But next thing you know, I got 3 allies. I've got I do it the same way every time. I've got about 7 upgrades over here, and then the same thing with this guy. You know.
Yeah.
So, anyway. $300 on eBay. They're definitely going to reprint Sinister Six. So
wait on that.
Do not spend $300 on that.
Lorenzo Magnifico Renaissance.
Yeah, it's behind you over to the.
We talked about this one slightly.
Yeah, because you played.
Because I played Potion
Explosion. This was really cool. You probably would like this. It was just simple. It was a very simple. You use that like tray thing to get resources and whatnot, but like whatever row you resource, you refill, and so it's really cool how the market is constantly cycling, and every time somebody takes something, it is most likely going to mess you. You're like, no, you dropped the blue out, and it's really really cool. And then yeah, I don't know, it did not like. I understood how it is tied to Lorenzo.
But it did not scratch that itch for you?
No, not that. But it's not the same game. Like, it's not...
Okay.
Like, you describing Little Alchemist is the Alchemist, right?
Okay.
This game is not Lorenzo.
This is not Lil Lorenzo?
Yeah, it is not at all that. It is a totally separate game that uses the same iconography and, like... card things, but that's it.
That's funny.
So anyway, it was good.
Messina 1347.
Yeah.
So did you play this again, or was this from the live stream?
I don't know. I've lost track now. I've played this 3 or 4 times now.
Okay.
Because so when I do these talking solos, my ultimate goal is to play a game a minimum of 3 times before I do the solo.
Okay, yeah.
So I only did it 3 because I didn't think it was worth playing another one after that. Yeah, so the first time I played it was the live stream. I have played it twice since then. I haven't quite filmed my talking solo, so I'll get one last play in. This one is I'm not liking the more I'm playing. That's the best way to put it. Especially the solo. I want to play it multiplayer to see, but the solo... Like, the first time, I just didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But then the second game, it was like, oh, okay, this is what I need to do. Let me do this first and this, right? And that would very much change with the multiplayer because you can't do all the things you can do on the solo. But I played, and I'm like, I got a good score. And so then I played a third time, and I'm like, there is 0 reason I don't do exactly
what I just did.
What I was doing. And that was really it. Like, that's what I realized. I'm like, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to, buy some quarantine huts, put some guys in quarantine, get my worker or my extra worker, and then start building other income other ways. And, repopulating the city. And, like, I'm like, that's part of why I've hesitated playing this or doing this talking solo, because to do those, I play the game. I have to play the game again, and I'm like... It just was...
So I will say, Suchi's solos aren't the best because he doesn't have a bot, right? He removes a couple things here and there, but you can play the same game over and over and get the same results. And if you have figured out the game for the solo, then yeah, you're not going to get much out of it. I know for me, like whenever I was playing... it was I just lost it, Praga. Like that one it's good solo, it's fine, but like you can have the exact same setup and you can do the exact same thing, and then once you figure it out, it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. Same for Shipyard, right? That one's a little bit different because there's a lot more stuff that can be removed, but yeah, I think his games are just way better multiplayer.
Yeah, and I'll try it. My thing with this one is there was nothing like fun or cool that I was doing.
No real big combos.
Let me go get some lumber, and then my next action is let me go build with that lumber.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's, there was just no cool there was no cool anything really.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Which is unfortunate because I think it's a really cool theme.
Yeah, and I have not really read too much about it and what other people think, but I did see a lot of other people did mention that, like, so talking about the theme, and the big thing is they got these entire rat tokens.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have to go out of your way to get. They're negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to go out of your way to get one, and that's what everybody says. Like, you don't ever get rats. Like, you have to really screw up to get a
The
rat.
only reason you're getting rats is if you messed up bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's unfortunately
Probably your least favorite of them so far.
Yeah. We'll call it pretty close to a miss.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. What did I play?
I don't know what this is. The Castle von Carrara? I don't know. I can't read that.
It's the palaces of Carrara.
Oh, okay.
But this is what I played. I played whatever.
Yeah, you played
whatever it says, including the rules and everything. So this
including the rules.
This is part of the meetup that I went to. And this was the first game we played. This was sitting on the table, and I'm like, I don't know anything about this game. Cool.
The Palazzo von Carrara.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what it was. And this is the ones I'm like, I want to play with you and Joe. It ended up being really cool. The rules were completely in German. The guy knew how to play, taught it. There were a couple of things he didn't know, and he just used
Google Translate.
Yeah, like had the little picture of it, and it was like, oh, okay, that's what it says there. And he taught it right off the dome. I've played enough games that there were a couple of things I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Are you sure? And he's like, oh no, you're right. And he was like, I play this game a lot digitally, and it does all the there's a decent amount of little upkeep between. It's like it does all that for me, and I'm like, okay, well, it makes sense that it's this way. But anyway, it had this cool, I'm gonna call it wheel mechanic, right, or whatnot. And every turn, resources stocked on the front wedge of this wheel, and they had a cost to it, right? But every turn, they would move. Mm-hmm. And the longer those resources were on there, the cheaper they were. And so it was this cool, like when I went to go get resources, so every time you went to go get resources, the wheel ticked once. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, ooh, I really want, and I can't remember, but like the green, that's the middle resource, but it costs 3, but there's 2 on there, and maybe I also get the red and it's cheap. But like if I didn't, maybe I just took 1 yellow that was the most expensive, but I really needed it or whatnot. Then the next person could tick it, and now they're getting those green, those 2 green for 3 is now 2 greens for 2. Anyway, the mechanic was just so cool how that worked. And then basically you were using those to buy tiles, and then score, like there was an action to go score. And so it was kind of figuring out how to, well, maximize your score, but like double up on scoring things, but also like you couldn't, it's not like the Ticket to Ride syndrome where everybody can like wait to, like there's a timer on the game, right? So this guy over here that is just buying cheap stuff, like he's going to tick this game along, and if I don't do something, he's going to win, even though he's only bought these cheap onesie twosies. And so I'm going to have to buy a suboptimal 5 because
I need something.
Yeah, exactly. And anyway, just really cool game.
Interesting.
Pandemic Legacy Season 2, we played March. We played 2 games in March. We lost the first one, just narrowly, barely missed. But that's okay, because we played a second time. Got to do lots of exploring. Explored, what area is that? What area is the Middle East? Moscow and
Moscow's not the Middle East.
Is that Eastern?
That's Russia.
Is that?
Middle
Wait,
East.
no, it wasn't Moscow. It was Mumbai.
Mumbai. Okay.
Mumbai and
Karachi.
Raida.
Yeah.
And what else is over there? I can't remember. Anyway, that's what we got to explore. What else happened? I don't know. We had a good time. Been really enjoying the exploration of this. We're only 4 months in now.
Mumbai.
Yeah, we're only 4 games in now, but I think I like this one quite a bit better than season 1, solely because we're just getting to like literally just explore, and the searches on the cards, like, oh man, I have this, whatever I had, Kolkata, like I could walk over there and I could scratch off and search it, and then half time it's like, oh, that was just okay.
I haven't really been watching yours. You're just playing 2 characters, right? You're not doing 4 total?
No.
Just 2 characters?
Yeah, just 2.
Huh.
So, yeah, cool. It's been very enjoyable.
Race for the Galaxy. We got to live stream this one. This is just a straight up tableau builder, right?
Yeah, engine
just
builder,
a
really.
quick engine builder. I think
Dennis, I'm glad it's been fun to watch. Appreciate that.
Race for the Galaxy was good. It was very quick. It was 30 minutes. It's one that we just need to play more, I feel like. Or at least me. It's one that I need to play more just to understand like what the cards do, how they interact with each other, and it's one I would definitely play anytime. I ended up downloading the app just so that I could play it, and then maybe learn those a little bit more, because that's the thing with these kind of games, is just learn how it plays, and then you can just play it even quicker than the 30 minutes that it plays on. So
yeah, I think if you played this regularly, you would play it very fast. I agree to that. But yes, you're right. That is what happened. Is Lacey scratched one, and then goes and
went
blows
everywhere.
dust. That's
awesome.
And she instantly realized what she did as she was like in the midst of blowing it all. And
you got to put Roomba up here and
it was a
do
mistake.
everything. Yeah, I don't know what you thought about it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was a very fun game. I understand why it's so popular for being 15 years old or however old it is.
And you got the expansion, so once we learn the base game,
billion expansions in there.
Play the expansions. Rolling Realms Redux. So talked about this a little bit earlier. Ian and I live streamed it. We got to play Meadow, Gugong, Terraforming. Okay, hold on. So we did 3 from the original. We did Euphoria. That's my favorite. We did My Little Scythe. And then we did, I don't remember the third one. It will come to me. Hey, Jeff. Then we did 3 from the Redux box, which was, we did Meadow, we did Wonderland's War, and I'm trying to look at the pictures here. Spaceship something. It was that one. I really like on this Redux one, I really like Meadow. I think that one was done really well. We didn't do the Dice and Rome. I actually don't own that one.
There is one?
There is one, yes. But Meadow, it takes the mechanic that I absolutely love about the game. It's the placement, the fence things, right? So then you just write it on there, then you go up a track. Wonderland's War was pretty cool because like by a certain round, you wanted to have a certain amount of numbers in a sector, and that would mean that you won that war. So then you'd get the rewards for it. That was done pretty cool. And then this other game, I don't know which, it's the one up here on the top. This one right here. It's a button shy game, but it was like you fill in these numbers and then those 2 numbers go down here and you want higher numbers than that. So that was pretty cool. And then we did 3 promo realms. And so we did Gugong, we did Terraforming Mars, and Feast for Odin. And it was good. I like Rolling Realms. I like it as a solo game, mainly because it cuts it down to 1 round. I think 3 rounds is too long for the game. Because Devin and I, we talked about it, I think right after the live stream. It suffers from this is a cool mechanic, I'm over it now. This should have been done 4 or 5 turns ago kind of thing. And so if you're playing it solo, at least with the solitary campaign in the original box, It is just 3 realms. You play through them. You get this score. That's it. So I think it's a good roll and write, but it's just a little bit long for my tastes. So that is a Rolling Realms Redux.
SETI. I soloed SETI.
Did we play it in March also?
I don't know. I know I soloed it on stream.
Yeah, I don't remember if we actually played it or not. I know you did solo it. I don't remember when we played it.
It was neat. I don't remember who won. I think I might have lost this one. I'm not actually sure. But anyway.
No, I'm pretty sure you won. I remember I said something at the end. You scored something wrong, but you still won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The
objectives.
Mm-hmm. They were like interesting because you could just get crappy ones out there for what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of a disappointment. I don't know. I don't know what I thought of the solo. I think it would just be better. Oh, I know what I did think of the solo. I do know. The solo cycled the display of cards so often, and that was great. Because that does not happen in a 2-player game, and honestly, even in our 3-player game, it didn't happen a ton, and it scans a ton.
Hey, Patrick.
I think that was because that's like, I don't know. That was the part that always got stagnant in all of our plays.
So I've played this one solo, and I remember the first time I played it, and I was telling you about the objective cards, and I remember you had made a comment like, well, you have to do them kind of thing. And my comment back was like, not really. Like, you don't have to. Like, you get some benefits for doing them, but you don't really have to do them.
I think it would have beat me if I hadn't.
Well, yeah. So you definitely have to do some of them, right? But you don't have to do all of them. But it kind of works like the gameplay anyway. Like, you have this card, do this action. If I can do this objective, I'm going to do that action to clear the objective kind of thing.
You don't think you have to go out of your way to at least get the ones to...
I think you do.
Because I think getting those free bumps would devastate your game. It's not the victory points at the end. It's getting the...
You did play a much harder difficulty than I did, and the bumps weren't as damaging, right? So it didn't get nearly as bad with the bumps when I played it.
Right.
So I can definitely see that with the harder ones, it being more punishing.
Yeah, like I was like, if it gets these bumps, like I'm done for because its actions are going to be so strong.
Very true. But every game that I played, at least, the objectives seemed to match up with what I was doing. So, but I agree 100%. It refreshes those cards so much better than any of the playthroughs that we've had, and makes you have more choice. So, SETI, Shipwrights of the North Sea. I got to play this one after a long time. It was good. I like it. It's a 45-minute, 60-minute playthrough. I taught Kirsten it once a long time ago. I say a long time ago, probably 6 months ago or so. And so I was able to just kind of refresh with her. She didn't do so well on it just because she wasn't sure of the cards and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I doubt she's watching this. But I ended up having a great game. I had a good worker income coming in. I was able to build a bunch of ships, I want to say in round 3, 4, and 5, or maybe just 4 and 5. But I was able to produce a lot of stuff. Again, she didn't have the best game, but I was ahead on a lot of the guilds, which gave me more of the gods or whatever they're called, the leaders. But it was fun. It was a good game. Really like it. Definitely want to keep on playing it. Paul let you know I pulled trigger on Civolution. There you go. Discount. Awesome. Yeah. Watch Devin's playing solo.
And then, hopefully you're playing with people, because I think it's great playing with people.
It is.
The solo is not bad. The solo is a tad bit complicated to run. Do not watch my playing solo to learn the solo rules. But you should watch it just to get my thoughts on it. But I do think it's kind of one of those, once you figure it out, you're doing okay. It just has some weird how to know where it's going to move or which of its right? And it has to again
with that many actions.
yeah,
it
with a
has
game
to.
that that large. When it's at 6 different places, you have to know which one it's actually going to build into, and so it's got little things for that. But
Yeah, Patrick, I think you'll enjoy it. I think it'll be a good one. But yeah, Shipwrights North Sea, I really like it. Good one. I'm assuming this is the other one you want us to play.
the
Speakerstadt.
I think that's the English version of that.
The Speakerstadt. So I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, so this one, another one, right? This guy nailed it. Turns quick, 45-hour games. I mean, with
45 hour?
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah, and it just, so this one had this, I can't remember how many rounds you played, 5 rounds, and I don't even remember all the details of it, but what I remember is you had your people, okay, I think you had 5 people, maybe you had 4 people or whatnot, and in the 3-player game, there were 4 basically cards to collect, right? Maybe it was 5. It was 4 or 5. Doesn't matter, really.
You're collecting cards?
I put it down that I want to buy card A. Card A. And then you're like, I want to buy card B. And then so-and-so wants to buy card C. And then with my second one, maybe I'm like, I also want to buy card B, right? And so I go on top of that. Anyway, by the end of it, after we placed all of our people, there's a stack of people there, right? So however many people are there is how much that card cost. I'm on the bottom, and there's 3 people there. Now I have the option, do I actually want that card for 3 money? If I say no, my person's gone. This person gets the option, do you want that card for 2? No. Do you want that card for 1?
Yeah.
Very, very cool interaction, right? It made it really neat because there were several times it's like, and money was super tight. Right? It's not, you weren't flush with cash, right? So there were several times where it's like, I went on there, somebody went on the top of me. I actually went on the top, even though it makes this more expensive. I realized that he can't afford
3.
this at 2 or whatnot, and I can get it for 1, or just things like that. The interaction of it was really, really neat. And then all the cards did, you were basically like getting contract fulfillment or trading resources for gold. Anyway, awesome game. A completely awesome game.
Under 2 games.
I'm not doing it justice by my description there, but that was like the main mechanic. Like, is that it's just this neat.
That little bid.
Yeah, how you're like deciding, and that's, you say bid. It is very much like a bid, but it doesn't. I don't like bidding, and it didn't feel that way. It was really cool how it worked.
So I don't know why it reminds me of it, and I've never played the game either way, but Clans of Caledonia, I believe, it's kind of like a auctioning bidding section where like you can sell materials, resources, and correct me if I'm wrong, I might be completely wrong, it might even be a different game, but it's like you're selling it, and if nobody buys it, you have to buy it at that price kind of thing. So it's like it's interesting, like, do I really want it? Do I have the money to afford it? Like, can I do that kind of thing? So
I have no idea. I thought Clans of Caledonia was literally just Gaia
might not be
Project
that
in terraforming Mars.
No, maybe maybe it's Isle of Skye.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I disregard everything.
Not
it might be
Mars, Terra Mystica.
Terra Mystica.
But, I thought it was that, but
maybe it's Isle of Skye.
I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it might be Isle of Skye. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with either of these games. So, White Castle. This is definitely a top. I don't know if it's top 3 game. It's for sure a top 5 game for me now. I've just absolutely loved it. I played a ton with the Matcha expansion. We'll get into it on Monday, but I played a ton on Board Game Arena. I just like the combos in this game. I like how tight it is. I like that you have to really change your playstyle. Not really change your playstyle, but look at the setup of the board, and that really kind of determines what resources you're going to go for, what actions you're going to do. The more that I play it, the better I get at it. And it's just super satisfying. Joe sent out a text the other day, like in our game group or in our group text that was like, "Do you ever just play a game and think, I wish I was playing another game?" And this is the one that came to my mind. It was just like, yeah, a lot of times I just want to be playing this. And I think it's just those little hits of dopamine that I like of, ooh, I got this, it gets to do this, it gets to do this. That just is like super satisfying. Not pictured here, but with the matcha expansion, it just adds a whole nother board that meshes perfectly in with the game, and just gives you more options to do. Uh, Again, it was digitally, but I did just have my highest score the other day. I ended up scoring like 89 on it. And I remember the first time playing it, it was like, who the heck would ever who would ever need this 80 chit, right? Because we were scoring 40,
Yeah.
50 points. So just like, I've said it a lot, there's not a lot of games that I want to invest the time in to learn and actually become really good at. And this is the one that I've invested time in and actually like understood how to play it. So, been absolutely loving the game.
Watson and Holmes. So we got to play this again. Went over to Lacey's parents' house, our family's house, and it's been me, Lacey, her mom, and her sister. So last time we played it, we played 2 scenarios. I think we just did 1 scenario this time. Man, still a blast. Still one of the best, like, whatever you call this, detective
Mystery.
mystery deduction games that I have played. It is just so much fun how it works. And anyway, long story short, this one took us all forever to like. We just keep reading these cards, and we're like, what the heck is going on? It was like somebody got killed on a mansion or something like that. Was it a mansion or no? Excuse me, it was a boat. That's what it was.
I'm on a boat.
It was a boat, and like it's interviewing all the people that's on the boat, and it's all these former military people. And anyway, I had this really neat story of like their military. There was just so much story. What is in these like little cards and like deducing it out. Anyway, long story short, I went and solved the case, and you have to know 3 pieces of information, and I got 1 wrong, so I lost. And then Lacey ended up solving it the next turn. So actually, it's kind of cool. When you lose, you get to be Sherlock. You're not really doing anything. Let's be perfectly honest with. But you get we'll call it be a moderator at that point. And so like people can spend their clue tokens to see what
questions.
Yeah, ask you questions. Basically, is what it is. And so she did hers, where one of them is she gets to read the answers that I wrote down. And so because of that, she knew she was able like, well, I know these two are right,
yeah.
so this one's not right, and able to then figure it out from there. Pretty cool. But yeah, just a awesome game, and I'm excited because I think there's like 13, so we still have like 10 more scenarios in there. And the nice part is it's like we're not destroying it. Like literally after it's done,
You just
it's done.
So, again, sort of unrelated, but you like these kind of shows and stuff like that too, like mysteries, like detective kind of shows. Like, do you watch that kind of stuff? Okay, Kirsten and I just started a series this week. It's The Residence. It's on Netflix. It is so good. We're about 3 episodes in, but it's basically this kind of stuff. It's there's the president. Somebody ends up getting murdered. There's a detective that comes in that's just trying to solve the murder. It is such a good show so far. Like if you're into that, I highly recommend you watching it. It's got Crazy Eyes from Orange is the New Black. I don't know if you ever watched that show.
I didn't finish it.
I never finished it either, but it's got like I know who that is. And it's got like just a whole bunch of other characters that I've seen in a bunch of other stuff. So it's like, oh, that's the guy from this, and oh, that's the guy. But besides all of that, it's just filmed really well. Like it's a comedy-ish, dark comedy drama. Super good show. If you're into anything like that, highly recommend you watching it. So that's it for games. Yeah, 29 of them this month. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. A lot.
It was.
Yeah. This month I've got, I don't think I have as many this month.
I'm gonna have such less this month.
Yeah.
Than that.
I think I probably will too.
But that's okay.
But that will lead us into May, which
It'd
will
be
have
better
a ton.
quality games.
Yeah,
I
very true.
didn't play bad games, but it's massive quality.
Oh, you're going to be playing Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. Although you say that, I've owned it, I've had it now for however long, and I haven't got to play it. The problem is it takes up this entire table, and so like
you got to take everything down for Friday.
Yeah. So like this week, right? Perfect example. I did an unboxing last week, right? And then Monday, Lacey and I play. Wednesday, I did a solo. Today is this, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, I think we did our other pandemic stuff. Like, it was just a lot of... we played Clank. We played, right? Oh, no, that is what I did. I was like,
You played...
Yeah, I was like, I did that
Clank Wednesday,
yeah. Wednesday. Yeah, it's just been... So, I need a time where I can... And then now I'm leaving town. So won't be for a week.
Well, you're going to start your campaign, Elder Scrolls. I have started my Kinfire Chronicles campaign. So maybe next month there's going to be like
2 games.
Well, I have already played another one besides that. So there will be at least 3 games. But we might talk in depth about those games.
Yeah.
And maybe not so in depth because then we'll just spoil the games. So yeah, if you don't want spoilers, always tune in. Always tune in. So, yeah, that's all that we have. Patrick, yeah, it was a pretty good collection there. Pretty good. It's always fun talking about the games. But as you guys see, we've got Voidfall here, and we've finished 1 cycle. So we do need to finish the next 2 cycles. Yeah. So that's all that we have. We appreciate you guys being here. Always interacting with y'all is fun. It's always a good time. But as always, remember, like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff really does help us. Helps our channel grow. We'll see y'all next time. Ooh. Ooh.